Hi, Brianna here, and today I will be covering William Jennings Bryan during the Fundamentalist Modernist controversy in the early 1920s. Bryan was a lawyer, politician, champion of the people, and fundamentalist. His nickname became the Great Commoner because of his reform movements. According to C. Allen Russell in his article William Jennings Bryan, Statesman and Fundamentalist, Bryan was very outspoken on his opposition toward the theory of Darwinism, where he brought attention to his fundamentalist views. According to Gordon Tate in his article Evolution, Weishaupt, Wooster, and William Jennings Bryan, Bryan's crusade against evolution and Darwinism did not just stem from the belief in the literal Bible. He worried intensely because he truly thought evolution was a huge social and national danger. Bryan saw that the clear choice was between godless materialistic Darwinian evolution or belief in a literal Bible and special creation. He fought against the teaching of evolution in public schools, and many looked up to Bryan because of his fundamentalist ideals and for his deliverance from the threat of religious liberalism. Bryan was also part of the prosecution during the Scopes trial over evolution being taught in public schools. As a fundamentalist, Bryan's religious ideals were laid very clearly in all of his addresses on fundamentalism and evolution. He would rather speak on religion than politics, and he was not a trained theologian, but his convictions were rooted within the Bible. Bryan's religious beliefs brought him to the fundamentalist movement, and he became one of its leaders. The dislike of religious liberalism brought Bryan and the fundamentalists together, and the fundamentalists were pleased to have a spokesman like Bryan in their midst. He supported their views and gave their cause national visibility. He was able to gather big crowds, and many of his speeches and addresses were put in newspapers. For example, The Commoner, where they put an abstract of one of his speeches that he made before the Baptist fundamentalists at their national convention in Indianapolis on June 13, 1922. This speech was mostly about his fight against evolution. Bryan was so outspoken about evolution. He did not like evolution, and he opposed it throughout most of his life. In this speech, he states in the beginning, and I quote, "No observing person can fail to see the growing antagonism between those who have taken up the idea that man is a lineal descendant of the brute, and those who accept the Mosaic account of man's creation by separate acts of the Almighty. One view or the other must necessarily triumph and dominate the church, and both sides, if they believe in the triumph of the truth, must necessarily believe that victory will come to the side whose position is right. Both sides should, therefore, desire the fullest and freest discussion in order that the contest may be as brief as possible. A divided church, like a house divided against itself, cannot stand. The burden of proof is on those who dissent from the orthodox interpretation of the Bible." End quote. This was what Bryan thought of evolution, and he used this as his fight against the fundamentalist modernist controversy. Bryan was very much against evolution and made many speeches against it. And this was part of the fundamentalist modernist controversy and his contribution to that during the early 1920s. Thank you.